Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to be breaking down the Battlefield 6 PC trailer frame by frame because they hit a lot of really cool, interesting stuff in here. And then after that, we're going to break down a lot of the Portal news that just came out. So there's actually a lot of cool things about Portal that I think if you're underwhelmed with how 2042's Portal was, you'll be pretty happy with how it's going to be in this. It's basically like Halo Forge mode on steroids. Okay, so right out the gate, we already have something. You see right here, we got this decoy for probably the recon class. He's got a little ghillie suit on. He's holding a little stick, which is supposed to look like a gun. And this will be pretty cool to have in the game. They've had variations of it in the other Battlefield games. I'm hoping it has scope glint. Otherwise, it's probably not going to be the most amazing thing ever, but it does look pretty convincing. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Hopefully it marks them as well once they shoot it. Then we got a helicopter flying over the crane. Obviously, there's got to be a helicopter crash in a Battlefield trailer. That's not a Battlefield trailer, you know what I'm saying? Here we got a view of New Sobek City, which is supposed to be one of the bigger maps. I think Mirak Valley is actually the biggest map, but this is supposed to be one of the bigger ones. It's gonna have almost all the vehicles. And right here on the right, you'll see a guy holding a SCAR. So that's pretty cool. There's all the weapons have been leaked already, and I think a lot of you guys probably already know what they are. There's like 44 different weapons. Pretty much like all the big name weapons from any modern shooter are in there. And then right here, we got someone holding which looks like a new sniper. Doesn't look like the one we started with in the beta. And then he's also got night vision goggles on, which according to leaks as well, there's a keybind for night vision. I don't know if that's going to be for campaign only. I'm sure it'll be for campaign at least, because we did see a little trailer with a little bit of night vision in it, or if it's also going to be a multiplayer, because this is multiplayer right here, so it's very possible. Down here you'll see a tank. We got an APC right here. You got another tank over here, 2 jeeps, Apache helicopter. Yeah, this is going to be all-out warfare. And then in the background, it's pretty cool. You can actually see the Egyptian pyramids. Okay, here we got some guys running to a gunfight. We got an Apache helicopter flying over. There's a tank right here on the left. This guy's got a flashlight on his weapon, and you'll actually see that it's on. You can see it hitting his teammate right here. I don't know what this guy has on his shoulder. Some sort of explosive or mine or something. I'm not really sure. And then this guy on the left right here actually has a sledgehammer on his back, which we'll see later on in the trailer as well. So you'll see they're fighting each other. This guy right here might actually have a flashlight on his weapon as well, or he's using a sniper rifle. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, we got some LMG gameplay, guys running with a tank. Right here, this guy has C4, and an interesting detail about this is that there's actually blood on the C4 detonator. So in the trailer, or in the beta, we didn't have any like mud, dirt, or blood or anything on our weapons or gadgets. Battlefield 1 had stuff like that, and I think it added a lot to the game. It just made it a lot more immersive and cinematic. So it's pretty cool to see that they're going to have that in this game. Here's another view of it. You can see the C4 detonator. Again, there's blood on it. Blowing up a tank. So there's a little view of Operation Firestorm, which, by the way, there's like a lot of leaked gameplay for that. If you actually want to see that, you can just Google it and find it very, very quickly. It's basically the same map, but they obviously remastered it a little bit, and they did cut off the mountains. So you can't go in the mountains anymore. More specifically, like these mountains over here where people used to snipe like all game and get like 2 kills. And they did extend out the spawn zones quite a bit. So, more Firestorm gameplay. There's not really anything to analyze there, at least the 10 times I've watched this. Guy driving a Jeep. A lot of blood effects when you shoot people. I don't remember that in the beta either, but it's possible that I just can't remember. It's probably in the beta. Okay, here is... I think this is the Saints Quarter map, which is infantry only, and then you also see the throwing knife here. So throwing knife confirmed, which is pretty awesome. That'll be pretty exciting. Yeah, infantry only, and it's supposed to be fast-paced combat. So yeah, another small map, which I'm not crazy about the small maps. I like that we have a couple, but... And then here you'll see the sledgehammer. Try to see if there's anything on these guys that we missed. This guy's got that gadget on his shoulder again. I don't really know what that is. Maybe that's that acoustic mine. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, he absolutely deletes this guy with the sledgehammer, and a lot of blood effects for that. Then we have a view of the mortars. So yeah, these mortars are operated by hand. You cannot remote operate them like you could in Battlefield 4. That was like one of the biggest complaints of the mortars in Battlefield 4, was that it was basically no risk. So now you actually have to be there to operate it. And he actually is on these mountains. I think it's actually what it was is they made this mountain right here part of the spawn for these guys. So you can't spawn, or you can't like spawn camp the team that owns this mountain, basically. Okay, we got a lot of fighting here. We got customization options. Right here is a good view on this tablet in the background of the Manhattan Bridge map. That one is confirmed to have helicopters, at least on the website, and I think it has tanks as well. We'll see a view of it in a second here. Here's another view of them fighting on Operation Firestorm, and again, there's all this blood on this guy's gun, so a lot more effects and cool little nitty-gritty details. Here, this guy's using an AT-4 launcher, which was in the old Battlefield games, 3 and 4. It was at least in 4. I don't remember about 3. We got a view of these guys jumping out of the plane. We got a view of probably one of the campaign missions. And I think this is supposed to be like the same city as Iberian Offensive. It's called a city called Gibraltar or something like that. It looks pretty similar. Here's a view of the Manhattan Bridge map, so you can see that they're fighting right here. I think the bridge is right up here on the top. There's a helicopter there, confirmed. Some APCs. And then you'll see a main battle tank there, and then another main battle tank here. So a lot of destruction going on here too, which is pretty cool. Here, you get a very, very, very quick peek at the EOD drone. So if you don't remember that from Battlefield 3 and 4, you could drive that around as, I think it was the engineer, and it had a repair torch on it, and you could go repair friendly vehicles or like attack enemy vehicles or players. And you could even roadkill enemy players, which was pretty funny. And in this one, there's actually leaked gameplay too, where you're actually able to lay anti-tank mines down on the ground. So that's pretty cool. And then back in the day too, you could also arm and disarm MCOM stations and rush with the drone. So it was a really fun gadget. Here's a look at Portal. You can basically see on the left all these assets, bunch of different folders, add-ons, levels, objects, raw, scripts, static, experience, blah, blah, blah. But we'll go into that after this. There's a lot more details on it. Custom modes. Right here, you can see what's looking like an infected mode. So if you ever played infected on Call of Duty, basically one team is like zombies. They have melee weapons only. Every time they kill somebody, they become infected as well. So you're going to be able to do a lot of crazy things with Portal, and that's kind of what they're showcasing here. Bunch of guys on top of a tower with infinite ammo with RPG against a bunch of jets. It's going to be pretty insane. Here's Merak Valley again, and you'll see the crane collapsing. It's like mini Levolution, so that's pretty cool to see. We're going really fast now. And I've seen this crane crash a couple of times. I think it crashes the exact same way every time, but it's still a really cool thing, and it takes out a lot of the building, which is pretty awesome. And then here we got this guy getting headshot and his helmet flies off. So that's pretty insane. But if you actually look really closely, his helmet flies off, but his helmet's still on his head. So it like spawns a new helmet for him. I'm sure that's probably just a labs thing, but this is also the new sniper. One of the, I think 3 snipers that are going to be in the full game. Maybe there's 4. It's either 3 or 4. And you'll see the assault gadget here, the ladder. And I've seen gameplay of this in Battlefield Labs. And basically you can use it as either a ramp or a regular ladder, depending on how you deploy it and the angle you deploy it at. So in this case right here, he's basically using it as a ramp. But I've seen people actually look up towards a window and you can deploy it completely vertical and it's like a normal ladder. We've also got a little turret here with a shield, which I'm assuming is probably part of the map. I don't think that would be a gadget because I don't know where he'd store that thing. I mean, you guys let me know. I don't think that would work, but... We got a minigun in the Black Hawk, which we think we had in the beta. Another couple views of Merak Valley. Looks super muddy. It kind of reminds me of Battlefield 1, actually. It's pretty cool. We got some footage here of Merak Valley again. Just absolute chaos. Trenches. This might be the AT-4 that this guy's holding here on the right. I'm not 100% sure. And then, yeah, more Merak Valley. They're really just trying to show everybody that, yeah, we're going to have a bunch of big maps with vehicle gameplay, which they should have had at least one in the beta, but... yeah, missed opportunity. All right, that's everything in the trailer that I was able to analyze. Now we're gonna talk about Battlefield Portal. There's a lot of new details. So they released this blog post here and actually has a lot of cool details about Portal. Basically, you can do full-on NPC scripting. You can customize the UI. You can move, scale, duplicate objects. The unique experiences created are called community experiences. Players can recreate classic game modes such as Horde mode or create innovative experiences like a top-down 2D shooter. So you can change the camera placement entirely, which makes me think that people are going to be able to create third-person game modes, which is pretty awesome. You can do spatial editing, map/geo editing, although they don't go into detail on how far we can go with that. I don't know if you can actually alter terrain entirely, but if you can, then really the sky's the limit. People can make whatever they want. Also, you can do AI scripting to customize the behavior of AI combatants. The Portal Builder tool also supports custom UI scripting for building fully bespoke user interfaces. So yeah, you can just create your own UI. You can change how the AI behaves. You have map and geo editing. This is basically, like I said earlier, Halo Forge mode on roids. Like, it's pretty awesome. With generous mutator and rule set options, you can use our web creator portal to experience Battlefield in the way you want. Hardcore mode, closed weapon loadouts, the sky's the limit. So yeah, this is web-based, so console players are going to be able to make use of Portal as well. So they did release this quick little look at how it's going to look. It's kind of cut off on the side, so you can't entirely see what it's all talking about, but you can see a bunch of different modifiers and options here. And then there's also a look at the server browser, which is confirmed to be in Portal, but it sounds like it's not going to be in the rest of the game. So you got Conquest 24/7 jet only maps, you got Rush 24/7 64 players. So I know a lot of people were not happy with the player count for Rush, but looks like you're going to be able to play it in Portal at least. You got Conquest 24/7 hardcore closed weapons all maps. You got Rush and Conquest infantry focused, hardcore knives, defibs, and hammers only, which is going to be absolutely insane. Jet race, so people are just going to be racing jets. That sounds super cool. Here they talk about full progression. Players earn full XP progression when playing verified community experiences in Portal. These use existing Battlefield 6 mode templates such as Conquest, Rush, and Breakthrough, while allowing the creator to modify a wide range of mutators to make the experience uniquely theirs. So it looks like they're going to go in and verify certain experiences, and then you can just get full XP and unlocks in that. Included with game purchase, players will also have the ability to make their hosted servers persistent. So the server can always keep going even when you're not on, and it's going to stay up. So it's always listed in the browser for access. And then they talk here about how they're going to support it post-launch, adding new modes, maps, weapons, and other features. And I believe Portal's supposed to include like maps and weapons from the older Battlefield games, because 2042's Portal did at least, and that was the whole kind of selling point of it, was you're able to play past experiences in the new game. But that's basically everything that they announced. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.